Greetings, I'm Brian and you're watching MAGI. It's multi-agent generated indicators, our proprietary set of machine learning algorithms set on US equities price action. You're going to see the results here in just a minute, but I wanted to make sure that you understood that our accuracy, although about 84%, on average between the puts and the calls, the shorts and the longs, that does not necessarily translate to your ability to trade with that level of accuracy, nor mine. I'm not a professional trader. We're not financial advisors. And so with that, I want you to make sure that you realize this is experimental data and what you do with that data is up to you. I was approached by a group and let me go to that screen right now for you. So here are my texts, and I was inquiring about their service, wanting to learn more about it, how it compares to our own. So they're doing a bunch of stuff we're not doing, albeit they're providing a lot of value that we don't. But if you think about the core of what's being provided, machine learning, artificial intelligence, price predictions, looking for highly probable moves based on past history, volume, and other indicators. That's what we do. So with that, let me go ahead and just say, please make sure to access the shared file. It's free. We don't ask you for any email information. We will never ask you for your personal information. So if you see something like that in the comments, be sure to ignore it because we're not asking for it. We don't want to charge you anything for this. What we want is your attention. We want people who are traders, professional traders, highly skilled amateur traders using options or just trading the underlying to take the data and tell us what they think about it, how they've been able to make use of it. And let's take a look at the results. So we'll get into that right now. Adobe, BAC, BMY, C, CCI. We're going to go through all of these. This can be found in the calls by triggered tab in the shared file. We're looking at a 1% move for Adobe here, another 1% move for BAC, BMY 1%, another 1% for C. CCI looks to have a 1.5% prediction, CF 1.5 prediction, and I'm not going to go through all these. Let me just highlight some of the larger ones. We've got CRM here with a 3% predicted move. We have GIS for a 2.5% predicted move. Illumina also 2.5% predicted move. And let's take a look at MPC down here, 4%. That would be nice. MTCH, 2%. And PWR looks like 2.5%. Now that's on the call side. Let's take a quick look and see how we did on the calls. You'll notice I still have some bad data in here, so going to affect the overall performance tab that you see there, so don't pay attention to that this week. Just make sure to look at this. This is the real data anyway. This is the core of what you want to see. GIS hit a target. Akamai hit a target. So did Illumina and MPC also. So all of these hit targets here. And that's what you're seeing there. That's when they hit it on the 14th, the 12th, 13th, 12th, 14th, etc. And if we go down here, we're starting to fill in some of these that didn't really perform very well during that downward move. But some of these have started to fill in here from the 5th, the 15th, right? So we're starting to see some of this upward movement take place that MAGI predicted. I mean, look at all of these that actually hit their target. I mean, that's pretty incredible. And some of these, like MPC here, those are big moves, 4% move, 3.5% move. This one's still active, however, CRM. So I'm looking at this thinking if we continue to have upward movement, this will make its target. It may not make it within the 20 days, however. There were some predicted moves here from the 12th. There were a few of these that filled their target, met their target within 21 days, which is just one day outside of our predicted window. We can't really count that, but things are looking pretty good here historically if you're looking back historically at what has met its target. So with that, let's go to the shorts or the puts by triggered tab. Again, access this on the shared file. There it is. I'm going to go ahead and put the URL there in the right-hand corner for you again. All right, so let's go ahead and go through this. Again, triggered on the 16th, we have only a handful of puts. So it looks like, MAGI is seeing the swing back up and is predicting not a whole lot of put action for this week. So let's take a look at what it has predicted here. ADM is predicted to have a put down to 5%, way here over to the right. You can't really see it, but there it is. You can see the 4.5% there. And then BG, 1.5% move. We have HES, another 5% move predicted. We have HUM at 2.5% move. We have LRCX, 1.5%. Qualcomm, 1.5%. And let's take a look at the historic performance. So from the 9th, we can see that a number of these are starting to fill in. They've met their targets. We still have quite a bit that's active, however, and we have active here, we have price met here, active here still. So some of these that look like they have put action, like DPZ, Domino's Pizza, that has not gone down. That's actually gone up. So this has not met its target. And if we look at this previous month for DPZ, you're going to see some of that same problem. So some of these do not meet their targets for sure. Nothing is perfect, at least not in my world. Don't know about yours. But these are fairly accurate, especially once you give it some time. And here's the time. So from the 2nd, you'll notice how many of these actually met their target. And let's just go ahead and scroll down and take a look at the preponderance of indicators that have met their targets compared to those that have not. So yeah, there are some weeks where you're going to find, like on the 14th, that many of them haven't, and that's probably not an 84% win rate there. But if you're looking over the history of what we produce, you're looking at a very high win rate, especially on puts for some reason. We'll see what happens with these because we don't seem to be going downward anytime soon. So these from the 9th, we'll have to see what happens here. We still have a lot active from the 9th. We're looking at performance over months, and that's really the key here. Just for basic indicators, I was paying $129 a month, and that was only for 3 different tickers. So I had oil, I had the SPY, and I had the QQQs, and I was paying $129 a month for that stuff. So whether you're getting it from one provider or another, they all seem to be charging something, and the sweet spot seems to be somewhere between $1,000 and $5,000. And ours is free, completely free. So please use it. The only thing we want from you is comment and like and following. So thank you for paying attention. We will see you next week.